Hey everyone. Sorry again about not doing the Q&A video. I just finished writing the format for that. So hopefully in the next couple of days I'll have the Q&A video finally up, please. No more problems. Want to thank you folks again for supporting me since I lost my dog. Today's like the first solid day. 24 hours I've gone without crying. That is my longest stretch. So I just want to thank you folks for that, and I also want to beg you for help. Not financial, just hold on before we go there. So, as you folks know, for years and years and years, I have been doing a lot of print-on-demand t-shirts. I initially started in my 20s because it seemed like a quick and easy way to earn a buck on the side. It's not a get-rich-quick thing, it's not an MLM, it's just I throw up some cartoons or some other designs that I've done, and if someone likes it, they buy a t-shirt or a mask or a cup or a magnet or a sticker or whatever, and I'll get like a percentage of that. Okay? Sales, I'm not going to tell you lies, they're hit and miss. I can tell you which points in the year I've made something and which points in the year I'm like, why do I even have this thing? But the royalty on print-on-demand services is notoriously low. If you do a Google search right now on some of these companies, you're going to have just a laughable number come up. For example, I recently sold a t-shirt on TeePublic. It was after a major sale, so this was full price. This shirt was $22 before shipping. Want to know how much I made? $2. Yeah. Now, the geniuses of the world would say if I don't like getting $2, maybe I should up my royalty rate, which is so cute, except A, not every website lets you do that, and B, if my royalty goes up, the cost of the shirt goes up. So now you're spending $30 on a t-shirt that shouldn't cost you more than $22, and I get, what, a $6 royalty out of that? How is that fair to you? It's not. Very pure and simple. But I kind of left it alone for a long time, and I didn't think about it until recently. I got 2 back-to-back emails, one from Redbubble and one from TeePublic. Redbubble is changing my account without my permission and without my consent. And if I make a certain number of sales on Redbubble, they think it's cute to charge me like a subscription service. They want to charge like upwards of $4 to $10, depending on how many sales I make. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Right now, I'm not really making squat. I'm adjusting my tripod there. There you go. 5 below. What do you want? Truth be told, I haven't really made very much on Redbubble, so I'm out of the danger zone for right now because Redbubble upped the price on a lot of their goods, and shipping is ridiculous and takes too long. So it's not like it's going to hurt me today, but next month it might hurt me. So obviously I was like, well, screw this, and parents be warned, I'm about to use some profanity. F-bombs will be dropped, just FYI. I was kind of like, fuck this. You know, if I'm not seeing any sales, if my customers are not happy with Redbubble, then I'm just not going to do business with Redbubble. I'll just stick to TeePublic. Well, guess who bought out TeePublic? Redbubble. So I just got an email right before starting this video, actually, saying that I'm part of the apprentice tier. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means my store is pretty darn new. You folks can scroll through my feed and find out I've not been on TeePublic but for a minute. So obviously I don't have a lot of t-shirt designs on at the moment, so I think that qualifies me as apprentice. The name doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. I think it's accurate. The thing that bothers me is they want to charge me a lot more because I'm not on the tier above being apprentice. Now, what did I just say? I sold 1 t-shirt not too long ago. I made $2 out of my royalty. They think they're entitled to $4. That puts me at negative $2. Do you see how this is not going to work out for me? How is it that you're lying in your email saying you've had to shoulder so many costs. Boo boo wee boo. How is it that you're fucking lying to me and you're telling me that because you've shouldered these imaginary costs you didn't shoulder, you need to take more out of my royalty than what you're giving me. You're giving me $2 and you want 4 out of that. How do I make money off of negative $2? What do? Do I put that on my taxes as a loss? I don't think so. I really don't see Uncle Sam accepting that. So, because of this, I'm not going to be doing business with Redbubble or TeePublic. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be pulling everything off of those sites. And that really pisses me off because TeePublic did have a good program through a lot of stores that I shop, like Spencer's, where if your design was popular enough or good enough, you could have your design sold at a store. I was actually trying to develop some new designs specifically for certain properties. And if TeePublic is just going to be charging me up the asshole, then there's no point in me being a part of that. So, I think FYE was the other store they were supposed to be working with. I don't know if that's still going to be a thing, honestly, because I just went to Spencer's and FYE, and I couldn't help but notice a majority of the t-shirts they had were no longer through TeePublic. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's my specific stores, or if it's something nationwide. I guess we'll hear more about that whenever. But I couldn't help but notice, like, the shirts I saw on the wall, they came from the usual reputable sources, like GE Animation, who I spend an awful lot of money on. What was the other one they had? There was another distribution company, not GE Animation, but like another one that does like anime stuff. Pokemon Company, you get the idea. Not TeePublic, right? So, I'm asking you folks, what are your suggestions if you want me to design t-shirts for you? Now, before you start typing, I'm going to point out another thing, okay? If you suggest Zazzle or Cafe Press or Shopify, the answer is a solid no on all three. And here's why. I do still have a Zazzle store, but their customer service is rude. Oh my god, I have had to fight these people for the teeny weeniest amount of my royalties. I also had to fight them on 3 of my designs. I don't even want to get into it. The designs are now live. They've been live for about 3 years, so all's well that ends well. It's water under the bridge. But Zazzle is so freaking rude. I only have it there as a placeholder. I have made nothing on it because I don't think anybody shops Zazzle anymore. Cafe Press I used to be on. That was the first one I was on my 20s. And I shut that down a few years ago because Cafe Press had a data breach. And they took my social security number. And they took my bank information. And they took the social and bank information of a lot of my customers. Which resulted in me apologizing my butt off on Facebook. So I don't even want to hear about that. Shopify, I almost started a store with. But something in the back of my head said stop here. And they're kind of doing that whole, we want you to pay us before you make any money kind of scam. And there's some sort of legal mumbo-jumbo going on with them right now. I don't have all the details, but it's hitting some of my local news stations, which means you folks will be seeing a lot more about them pretty soon. So, I don't want to hear about Zazzle. I don't want to hear Cafe Press. I don't want to hear about Shopify. I did look into Printify. That's another one I'm not really interested in. That, too, required some money up front. I feel like that defeats the purpose of the whole damn thing. So those 4 I'm not really interested in. I do have another shirt store below the collar. They are through Pro Wrestling Tees. I have 1 design up there. I may add 1 more. It's really hard to get onto that store. And their shipping costs went up. T-shirt quality is good. The t-shirts are really soft because it's through Pro Wrestling Tees and 1 Hour Tees. So the shirts are soft, and I've washed a few of them. They seem okay in the laundry, so that's pretty cool too. The only thing I don't really like is the shipping. I don't think it's fair to pass that cost off to you when, you know, Amazon Prime is like $3.99 or some shit like that. So, well, not Amazon Prime, regular Amazon, but you get the idea. But aside from that, the only other thing I've been seriously thinking about for this year, and with everything that went on with losing my dog, of course I took some time off, but now I'm really seriously thinking about doing this, is creating a store and putting that up on my website. And that way, you know you're just dealing with me. There's no middleman involved. It's just me packing the boxes. It's me putting, the thank you card in there. It's me writing stuff out. So that is something that I might actually do. The only reason why I didn't do it sooner is in order for me to do that, I've got to have, stuff already at the house. I've got some merchandise here. I kind of have a storage issue going on, so it wasn't, high on my to-do list, but for you folks, it's on the maybe list. But aside from just saying screw this and doing my own store, which print-on-demand companies do you folks like to shop through? Are there any that you can think of that are not these that you feel really comfortable with, you've had happy experiences with? And that's the thing that I want too. I want a good customer experience. I don't want you to just say, oh, I shopped there because I had to, because then I don't want to guilt you into buy my shirt. No, I don't want to do that. But if you had a happy experience, I really want to hear about that first, and I'll figure out the whole royalty mess after that. Because if you folks aren't happy with whatever it is I have to sell, then I'm not really happy. I mean, yeah, I could just take your money, but if you're not happy, I feel morally like a bad person. So let me know in the comments what you would suggest. I am open to anything that is not here. And I thank you so much for listening to me just moan and complain about this entire nightmare. I'm going to get that Q&A video started pretty darn soon.